In the sulky, indeed, the Green Hornet, Yannick Gingras. It's a pleasure to always deal with you, and you just had the autograph session with the drivers over there, a chance to meet and greet the fans and sign those 2013 calendars. A lot of fun, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. I think it's great for the fans like to see us face to face, and it's nice to to be able to talk to them. I think it's something different, and I'm glad they're doing it here.
Now, you've your wife Vicky Mosher, you've got a son Jaden, daughters Addison and Avery's just turned 1, right?
Yeah.
So how was Santa Claus? How did Santa Claus show up and give everybody what they wanted?
Absolutely. I think Santa treated them pretty good again this year. They're lucky kids, but they have great behaviors, and I know they're watching tonight in Canada. So hi guys, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning.
Oh, they're in Canada. Now where you're going up there? Where's this?
Yeah, flying home tomorrow morning, early flight. They're at my dad's right now, and I told my wife to make sure they're watching TV, so I'm sure they're in front of the TV watching.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll win a few tonight for them. Growing up in Quebec, I look back at some of the archives there, and you were a track announcer there in your teens. I guess at one point in your young days, you aspired to do that, and you did it quite a bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a pony racetrack at my house. 4 or 5 miles from where I grew up. But don't think about it. I'm not going to do what Tim Tetrick did last year. Don't even go there.
So we can't invite you up there for a race. Right?
No, I'm not going to do it. But it was fun growing up. Like I really loved it. And there was a guy named a track announcer in Montreal named Danny Mo.
Right.
Like he was great to me growing up. I spent most of my days when I went to the racetrack. I'd be upstairs with him, and he took me under his wing and just had a good time. And I loved it. I enjoyed it.
So it was a bilingual thing, right? Deuxième second, troisième third, quatrième fourth, right?
And
is that how you do it? I'm going to practice that a little bit.
Yeah, you try it next time you're upstairs. But he is a very, very good, entertaining track announcer, and he was a good friend.
All right. Your grandfather, Mark, you mentioned your father, Raymond, a big influence in instilling a very strong work ethic.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about work.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad is definitely a worker. There's no doubt about it. I'm not half the worker that he is. No, that's for sure. Like I like my days off and stuff. He don't take no days off. He's after me retired now, and he's going crazy because he doesn't have many horses at home. And like a couple horses broke down, and he has some horses here with me. But he's definitely a very good worker.
And Dan Dubé, I'll never forget it. He helped you when you decided to come here and race in New York, when you came here to America.
Oh, there's no doubt how much that he helped me. It's unbelievable. Like, it's another one that took me under his wing. I had not much money. I came here with a couple cheap horses, and I wouldn't have had no money to have pay the bills, pay an apartment, and eating and phone and this and that. Danny took me under his wing, let me live at his place. I think I lived there like 6 or 8 months. Never charged me $1 every time we went to the restaurant. He never let me pay. Who knows if I would have ever made it? I probably would have gone back home, and there's no racing at home now, so I don't know what would have happened, but I'll forever be thankful to him.
Well, you struggled a bit, but everybody does when you started here a few years back. Of course, you were still young, but now you're coming off your first driving title here, and you mentioned to me the other day it was your first title ever, anywhere, right?
Yeah,
it certainly means a lot.
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. It's great to be able to win a Meadowlands driving title. It was always something in the back of my mind that I'd like to do maybe someday. But there's great drivers here. Brian Sears, George, Timmy. David, Ronnie. There's so many of them. To be able to be ranked near the top with them for years, it was just great. That was great to begin with. But to be able to win it last year was definitely sweet. And like I said to you the other day, it was my first driving title ever, anywhere. I won it one time in Lexington, the short meet, but I don't count that as a driving title, really.
There were high expectations for a rock and roll dance. And speaking of the driving title, which puts a nice stamp on your career, you won your first Meadowlands pace. We're going to take a look at that here. There was a bike change before this, right? We'll never forget that. And you just kind of took charge and down the road.
Yeah, it kind of worked out that day for us, that's for sure. The bike, it definitely gave me some confidence, going in. We were racing with a big bike, that was taking a lot of room, and I convinced Jim, going to the final that, in the elimination we kind of got locked in a little bit, and that bike was really, really wide that we had, and I was like, I just got to get something a little more narrow if we have to squeeze through horses, and if we're in traffic, the smaller bike might help a little bit. He trusted me, and I'm not saying the bike made a difference that day. I was on the front, and
maybe the drive made a difference.
I was confident in the horse. There's no doubt. I knew going in that I had one of the horse to beat. That's for sure. And we put him in play, and the horse showed up. Jim had him, as good as he ever was that day, and I was really happy. That's for sure. That was my dream race, and thanks Jim Olnix to get him ready for me.
Well, is he coming back?
I'm sure he is coming back, yes.
One of many, actually, most of your horses are coming back this year. Hurricane King Cole wins the consolation, 118 and 2 3/4 in the New Jersey Classic. What did that feel like? And he just missed.
Yeah, it felt like he was going real fast. You know, he was pretty good going to the quarter, and then once he hit the front of the quarter, he hit the bike a couple times, and then he was gone. You know, it's unfortunate because I think he was the best that day, but he just got a little too riled up on me. And he's the fastest horse I've ever sat behind for a piece. Not even close. You know, I mean, that horse that day when 3 goes in 18 and 2, and I can tell you could have gone 17 and changed really, really easily. You know, but sometimes you got to ration out that speed.
Wow.
And it's not always about speed. You know what I mean? But I'm sure John will have him ready next year and healthy, and there'll be some great things about him.
Speaking of fast, and on the road to the Hambletonian, you might have had the fastest 3-year-old trotter in Little Brown Fox, who won a Stanley Dancer Memorial Division in 1:51 and 2, a down-the-road effort here. Unfortunately, he made the break in the Hambletonian elimination and didn't make the final. What happened there?
You know, we were going pretty fast into the first turn, and I was trying to clear and try to be able to get away like second or third after that. But you know, racing a little too wide and a little too fast, and the horse unfortunately made a break. And the only time all year that he made a break, and it was definitely the wrong time. But he came back strong after that, and it made a little bit short of $1 million. So you know, you got to be thankful for the race that he did work out, and maybe forget about the one that didn't.
All right, and well, he was a runner-up in the Breeders' Crown to Intimidate, yep. Right? So that was good there. Foiled again, back to the pace here. Foiled again, scores a dramatic upset in the Canadian Pacing Derby. Biggest win for horse and driver.
Yeah, he's such a great horse. You know, that just showed that, you know, that was the first time that he actually had a chance to go over the record, and I mean money-wise, and to be able to do it that way. And I mean, you know, he's a horse that's good on the front first up. He's not really good following horses most of the time, but I mean, you know, I was behind a lot of horses and zigzagging through horses, you know, in the stretch. But he's a great horse. He's given me so many good trails. He's been a pleasure to drive. You know, we kind of like started together. You know what I mean? Like, he's an overachiever. That, you know, when I first, you know, started, you know, he's wanted to give me some big wins, and I think I've gotten better as a driver the last 3 or 4 years, and he seems like he keeps getting better as well. You know, so right. We're a great team, and I'm very thankful I got to drive him for so many years.
$5 million. Here we come with him. You capped off the season with a Breeders' Crown hat trick with 2 Dream On, that great filly, Maven, and right here, Rockin' Amadeus, a 17-1 shocker beating Captain Treacherous.
Yeah, you know, like that horse was knocking on the door all year. You know, he's had, you know, a lot of trips where, you know, you're second, third, fourth choice, and I was getting away in the 2-hole behind the favorites. Like, I can probably name you 4 races where I was in a 2-hole and it seemed like it was the right spot, and the favorite didn't come up good that day. You know, he just the horse was very unlucky for many races that, you know, almost I was getting discouraged. You know, I'm sure the owner and Jimmy might have been getting discouraged as well. You know, not that I ever heard that, but it just wasn't working out. You know, but it sure did work out in the Breeders' Crown. Jimmy had him ready like he always has them. And, you know, we were able to beat Captain Treacherous, which is huge.
And maybe it'll work out for you again in the Meadowlands pace. We'll
Absolutely.
find out. Let's look at 3 drives on tonight's card briefly here. Race 6, the 8, Hillbilly Hanover. This is a new one for Ron Burke.
He's been very, very good. You know, like in the elimination of the matron, he was good. In the final, you know, they went 48 flat. It was a little bit too much maybe, and used him really hard early as well. But last week at Chester, he was about as good as a horse could be. You know, he made the front easy, and he just rated some decent fraction. But when I called on him at the top of the stretch, this thing was absolutely gone. And I'm looking forward to see tonight if he's going to be as good as he was, because he was very, very good at Chester.
All right, race 7, the 2 4-stars Trace, another Ron Burke trainee in very solid form here with the inside post.
Inside post is going to be so important in this meet because, you know, like, you know, people have heard there's no more holes, no more, like, no floating to get into a spot.
Half in, half out.
No half in, half out. And for that horse, the 2-hole is actually a great spot for him because he can get away probably like somewhere mid-pack and follow cover or something like that. And like you said, his form is changing. He's definitely been a lot better the last 2 starts, and, you know, he's got a chance.
All right, we're going to flip a few pages and go to race 9 and look at the 6 Mortals In for Ron Burke.
No, that's a very nice horse. You know, I mean, another one that probably overachieved a little bit for Ronnie. Like most of his horses, he gets them on their toes all the time. I mean, he's a nice horse. He's not a great horse or nothing like that, but I think he fit well. He fit well in here. You know, there's a couple classy horses in there too. I mean, like Voice of Truth's a very nice horse, and I mean, it's not going to be an easy race, but it's never easy around here.
Over 900 wins and 19 million for Mr. Burke. That's a nice account to have, of course. And Jimmy Takter, who just went in the Hall of Fame in 2012. Keep up the great work, Yannick Gingras. Thanks for being a friend to us, the media. We really appreciate you. Happy New Year to you and your family. Good luck. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, Yannick Gingras in the Sulky, 15 minutes to post time. Up next, the legendary Bob Hollywood Hayden.